SciTube is an initiative to make learning psychology interesting, exciting, and easier. SciTube promotes learning psychology through the relevant original experiments that resulted in the theories. The videos also sensitize the learners about the relevance of the theories in contemporary times. Concept: behaviorism. Experimental setup: Little Albert experiment. The Little Albert experiment was conducted by John B. Watson and his graduate student Rosalie Rayner in 1920 at Johns Hopkins University. The purpose of the experiment was to demonstrate that human emotions could be learned through conditioning, just like observable behaviors. At the time, Watson was a leading proponent of behaviorism, a school of thought that rejected introspection and focused only on observable behavior. His motive was to prove that emotional responses, such as fear, are not innate, but can be conditioned through environmental stimuli, applying principles of classical conditioning first discovered by Ivan Pavlov. What happened in the experiment? The subject, known as Little Albert, was an 11-month-old infant who initially showed no fear of a white rat. The experiment proceeded in stages. Albert was allowed to play with the rat freely. A loud, frightening noise was produced by striking a steel bar whenever Albert touched the rat. This pairing of the rat and the loud noise was repeated several times. Over time, Albert began to cry and show fear at the sight of the rat alone, even without the noise. Researchers later introduced similar objects, such as a rabbit, fur coat, and Santa mask. Key observations and conclusions. The experiment revealed three major findings. Fear could be classically conditioned in humans. The fear response generalized to similar stimuli. Emotional reactions could be shaped by environmental experiences. Conclusion. Human emotions, like fear, are learned behaviors, not purely innate. Watson concluded that behavior, emotional or otherwise, is the result of stimulus-response associations, reinforcing the core principles of behaviorism. Inferences and contemporary relevance. Although ethically controversial today, the Little Albert experiment has lasting significance. Forms the foundation of behavior therapy, including exposure therapy. Influences treatment of phobias and anxiety disorders. Highlights the power of early experiences in shaping emotional responses. Raised modern awareness of research ethics, consent, and participant protection. N. Core insight. Emotions can be learned and unlearned. Watson's work fundamentally changed psychology by shifting its focus to observable behavior and environmental influence, shaping modern clinical practice, education, and behavioral science. If you think the video made learning psychology easier, like, comment, share, and subscribe.